It was billed as the ultimate luxury music festival, an exclusive event in the Bahamas that promised private jets, gourmet meals, and beachfront villas. Promoted by top influencers and celebrities, the Fyre Festival was set to be the experience of a lifetime. But when the attendees arrived, they found themselves in a nightmare. Instead of luxury, there were disaster relief tents, cheese sandwiches, and a total lack of organization. So how did this dream event turn into one of the biggest debacles in modern history? Join us as we uncover the rise and fall of the Fyre Festival, a story of deceit, management, and the power of social media. Hey guys, it's Lindsay Unfiltered, and welcome back to my channel. We are continuing the A to Z scandal series today. Today we are on letter F, and that is the Fyre Festival. For everyone who doesn't know what the Fyre Festival is, it was a huge festival that was to be one of the biggest festivals for influencers around the country. This festival promised private jets, luxury villas, the best food, the bluest water, and essentially anyone with enough money could go. Models like Bella Hadid and Kylie Jenner got on Instagram in their swimsuits and flaunted in the beautiful blue water and sandy beaches. It was told that it was going to be on Pablo Escobar's island in the Bahamas, and every millennial that had enough money to go was going. What they didn't know is Fyre Festival's planners and CEO didn't have enough money, time, or preparation to get what they had promised to their customers come the day of the festival. Now, there was a lot of key players involved in the Fyre Festival and its demise. We're going to delve into that. We're also going to delve into the poor preparation, the fallout, and the legal repercussions. And let's just discuss it and do a little bit more of a deep dive on the Fyre Festival and what made it go up in flames. Let's talk about these key players, okay? So when we talk about key players, one person that you need to know of when talking about the Fyre Festival is Billy McFarland. Billy McFarland is a young CEO, a self-made entrepreneur, if you will, that started many projects such as Spling, a web app, and Magnesis. Magnesis was a black card for the richest influencers. Something like Amex, but Amex actually works and has benefits. Gee, go figure. It was something kind of like an NFT, in my opinion, that you could just collect and say, hey, I got a cool thing. Do you have it? Oh, you don't? Well, you're not cool like me. He created the company Fyre as well. Now, I think Fyre was actually a great concept, as well as a lot of Billy McFarland's other pitches. Fyre was a talent hosting company, which means that you could hire your favorite talent. Lil Wayne, you want him, you got him. Drake, you want him, you got him. Taylor Swift, you want her, you got her. Beyonce, you want her, you got her. And you could just go onto their cute little app and find your person, pay your money, and they're showing up at your door. Nothing sounds wrong with that, right? In essence, that sounds like a beautiful idea for normal people to just be able to book their talent, and their talent actually come if they have the funds to do so. Ja Rule's another key player in the Fyre and Magnesis brand. He brought his influencer status, being a rapper and an influencer. That audience was also brought into the businesses by Ja Rule. Now the models. We got to talk about the models. The models need to be held responsible because they were on that beach looking amazing in these pictures. swimsuits, sandy beaches. These models, Bella Hadid, Kylie Jenner, on these beaches, flawless, two pieces, in the water, swimming, crystal clear water. This is Pablo Escobar's island, mind you. White as sand, blue as water. And they're posting on their Instagram page, this is fire. Huh. I want to go. Millennials are a different creature. We value nicer things in life. Nicer things than the boomer generation. No offense. And I'm not saying this in a rude way, but boomers rather save their money. They don't want anybody trying to cheat them out of their money. Millennials, we rather live our life to the fullest. Yes, we're going to take care of our business, some of us, but we rather live life to the fullest, whereas, some of our parents, some of our grandparents are going to stretch their dollar and save their money, which is very wise. But millennials, the finer things in life, we rather take our children to Disneyland. We rather put them in private schools. Some parents rather do that. I'm not saying all do. But we rather put them in, some type of parochial school. We rather spend our money where we can see it. We rather go get in a hot tub somewhere. Some millennials rather enjoy their money, right? I know I like to enjoy things. Like, when I'm talking about enjoying things, I'm meaning like self-care things. I have a really big obsession with hot tubs and spas, so it's been my thing for a long time to own one. So I'll go to hotels to just get in their spa, and I'll get a room at a hotel to just get in the hot tub and things of that nature, because I like that. I like those things, I value those things. So I'm saying all that to say, Fyre Festival is a festival for millennials. You're not going to see boomers, 60-year-old people out there, right? So in influencing, the models are young. They're, people that the millennials look up to, people the millennials regard to as gorgeous. They're people the millennials regard to as famous, wealthy. So, of course, it's going to attract them to come to the island. Millennials want to have fun, right? Okay, let's get into the planning and the execution. People will charge a crazy amount of money, like tens of thousands, to go to Fyre. I heard a ticket was $250,000. I don't know if that's the truth, but I heard it. Okay, $5,000, $1,000, thousands. The location changed at the last minute to an island that looks so run down. So you're telling me Pablo Escobar's island, which is like beautiful, and then Pablo Escobar, the owner of that island, he was like, you're not bringing all those damn kids over here. Are you out of your mind? Right? Like, no, I'm trying to clear up that image of all of that, right? So they change it to this island that looks nothing like the island. It's giving run down. It's giving not private jet and yacht worthy, right? So you're going to tell your customers? Billy McFarland says, no, we're not going to tell them. You should tell your customers if there's a change in venue, right? So that's like my friend inviting me to a birthday party at her house. And then at the last minute, she changes it to the beach. And I show up to her house, and I'm like, and she calls me, and it's like, oh, my bad, it's at the beach. He didn't want to look bad. I bet if it was in a better area, he would have told them. But it was in a way worse area. The tents looked like something Coleman could sell. And no disrespect to Coleman, they make great tents for the greatest camping kind. But these aren't millennials influencers that are camping, baby. Who's about to sleep in a tent that they can buy on Amazon? Who is about to sleep on a tent that they can buy on Amazon? And they were very close together with no air conditioning. Did you send them on a camping trip? You can go on a camping trip for way less. Like, that's fire bands. They were like little wristbands that you get when you go to raves. I'm sorry, this is stressful. They were loaded with money for additional experiences. This makes no sense because I thought the festival was all expenses paid. What additional experiences? I know they had bands playing. I know they had mustard and cheese sandwiches. I know they had bottled water. What additional experiences and what space did you have? This isn't a cruise. There weren't excursions or jet skis that I knew of people were riding on. And why did they have to load $10,000, $5,000, $20,000 on it? What were the excursions at the Fyre Festival? Can anybody tell me? Because I've been on a cruise before, right? It was lit, and you didn't even have to get a wristband for that. This is not Disney World. You cannot make people buy bands and then think they're going to load money, and they were loading it. Ooh, child. The villa living was not what most people got. You know how he said villa, private jet, yacht. Oh my God, that sounds so nice. That sounds amazing. To me, I would have liked to go to that. You mean to tell me we're going to the Bahamas? I'm going to be on a yacht. There was no itinerary. There were itineraries floating around, but there was no... It was very, very vague if there were an official itinerary where these people are going to be sleeping. A couple people got a villa. There was a box of keys for the townhomes they had bought that went missing. Good God. Oh my God. They got an air mattress. Oh no, I'm sorry. They got I think they got a 6 or 8 inch mattress. Yeah, you know the ones they give to, I'm not gonna go there either. Okay, and a muggy tent with no AC. I can go to the Hampton for like under $200 and get a king size bed to myself for $200. I'm just saying I could go to a 5-star hotel for $1,000 a night if I just I'm just saying if that's what I wanted to do. Why did we pay so much for an extreme camping trip? I don't get that. These are rich millennials on vacation we are talking about. This isn't Woodstock. So stop comparing it to Woodstock. It had similarities. But the aura that the social media influencers wasn't giving Woodstock. Bella Hadid laid out on that yacht. That's not giving Woodstock. Woodstock was peace, love, and happiness. They didn't care what they had to eat. They didn't care where they slept because they were booted and zooted, if you understand what I mean. They didn't care about having shoes, clothes, or anything on because that was the essence of the movement they were trying to make. No movement was being made with Fyre. The only movement that was being made with Fyre was wealth, money, capitalism, public appearance, greed. What else? Influence, capitalism. Oh, did I say capitalism? Yeah, capitalism. Bahamas, sand, wealth, all of that. You know, and I would have been right in there with them because if they work hard for their money, if they're influencers, if they're content creators, if they have a rich parent and they work hard for their money, whether it's inherited, whatever, however they got it. They work hard for create content, because I just started on YouTube, and creating content is not as easy as clicking a button and starting to talk. Some people on YouTube will have you believe, just turn on your camera. No, you have to plan. You have to write scripts, especially if you're talking about content, and you have to compete, you know? So the whole being an entrepreneur isn't a real job, or being a YouTuber, being a TikToker, that is very negative language. So if those people are out there and they spent their $5, $10, $25, $30,000, I don't think people should be okay with saying they're rich, they deserve to have their money stolen. I mean, some of them are influencers, some of them are working. So they didn't all inherit their money, I'm sure. So if I had the opportunity and somebody was telling me I could go on a 16-door yacht, allegedly, swim in Pablo Escobar's front yard, go in the villa next to his and get in a jacuzzi, all while listening to Blink 182, and then fly out in my private jet, you best believe I'm going. When do we leave? Right? If I had the means, right, it sounds good, but it wasn't that. So stop saying Woodstock, because that's not a Woodstocky vibe. So the unraveling. Let's get into the hard part, okay? Hundreds of guests arrive on hot school buses, the yellow ones. Now, I thought they were giving luxury. Were they not giving luxury? Did I miss something? Luxury is not school bus. You can even get the charter buses, Billy. William. Be for real. Then they came in, they had a plane. It wasn't a jet, but it was a plane. It said Fyre on it. It was black. I will accept the Fyre plane, because so many people, I'll accept the Fyre plane. Because it was black and it said Fyre on it. B- for effort on the plane, on the custom plane. It rained that day, if anything else could go wrong. It rained the day they arrived, so the smallest mattresses they could buy for their very affluent client, they had to dig through, the clients did now. The clients had to dig through wet mattresses to sleep on. Now they paid thousands of dollars to dig through their own wet mattresses to sleep on. I don't know if you're aware of this, but in my unfiltered opinion, prisoners, when they're booked in, they don't have to dig through wet mattresses to sleep on. And they go for free. In my unfiltered opinion, they could have gotten a better experience at a shelter. I saw the pictures of the cheese sandwiches. I didn't even see any ham. I just saw lettuce and tomato and mustard. Man, when I'm telling you, I would have thought they was trying to kidnap me if I got on that Hunger Games ass island and saw all them tents, overbooked, overpriced, and underprepared. I would have got on there off that bus and saw all them domes. And then my phone bill would have been high. My phone bill would have been about $7,986.29, because I'm calling the United States immediately. Send somebody. Send everybody. Send the National Guard. Send me a plane first, but send somebody out here. I'm going back to custom. Where the planes at? That's what I would have been asking. First thing I would ask, where's the Ubers? They would have been like, no Uber. You're in Bahamas. I'm like, oh. I would ask for a taxi cab to wherever the planes are. I would have talked to the people in customs and been like, get me to America. That's all I want to talk about right now. Y'all are not about to take me out here and do this for some type of experiment. Nope. So my thing is, where was the seasoned professional to help Billy McFarland? Billy McFarland thought he knew it all and thought this would just go okay. You're talking about massive social media presence and light on this festival. Massive. Where was the seasoned professional? The old guy who had done 20 or 30 events of this size. Where was he? Where was the woman on the teams saying this aesthetic isn't really feminine? This aesthetic isn't really feminine. This looks like an army base. Where was the woman? There was no women, just a bunch of guys that looked like frat bros. No offense to the frat brothers, right? And Billy McFarland, you knew better. You just thought you could pull it off. You didn't want to pull out. You didn't want to pull out because you didn't want to return the money.
People paid thousands of dollars for tickets to Fyre Fest, expecting a top-notch experience. They instead received anything but. Luxury accommodations turned out to be tents. Gourmet food consisted of bread, cheese, and salad. One of the main acts canceled at the last minute, and many of the guests ended up stranded at the airport on top of everything else.
So lawsuits were filed, as they should have been. People were trying to get back home quick because they saw that and they were like, what is going on, right? The festival, while a good idea, right? Completely unrealistic, unsatisfactory. For the experience the patrons experienced at Fyre, there was a $100 million class action lawsuit. Now, did everyone get all their money back? I doubt it. Billy McFarland was also arrested related to charges on wire fraud. He had a company called New York City VIP Access, and that company was supposedly giving tickets away to Met Galas. You can't even buy tickets to Met Galas. That's like a A-list celebrity invite only event, but people were buying it. It probably came from his Fyre email list. He received 6 years in jail. He also used false documents to coax investors into investing money into Fyre. So after Fyre fell through, he probably was scrambling and scraping for any dime he could get. So he just flat out scammed people, telling them he was going to give them tickets to events that you couldn't even purchase tickets to. A lot of the workers on that island, which were very grateful to get the work from the Fyre Festival, they went underpaid, and they're still not paid. We could learn a lot of lessons from the Fyre Festival, but my thing is, why didn't Billy McFarland do his festival in the States first? He could have received a lot more help. All of the flights back and forth to the Bahamas, all of the trouble with customs. He would have had a lot more help from a lot of professionals and didn't have to deal with the customs money and didn't have to deal with all of that. If he would have just did it here first, just to see how he is with his events, and then taking it abroad. We have some beautiful beaches here in America. Not saying that he shouldn't have done his first festival out of the country, but if you're going to do it right. So if you know that you're not sure how it will go, or you've had other projects that may have not been as strong, you might have wanted to just do it here in the United States. Therefore, more people are likely to come on board and say, hey, I can be down to Florida tomorrow, or I can take a flight and help you out, you know? I don't know. He's trying to do a Fyre Festival too. Why would you even name it that? I feel like you shouldn't name it Fyre Festival 2. That's just, people are going to have flashbacks. Some people are going to go. Some people are not going to know about the first one and go. But some people are going to go, but most people are going to be like, I went to the first one and, are you crazy? You know? Just because it was such a big flop. The lessons we learned from the Fyre Festival are basically the power of social media. Social media is a powerful tool. Just by a model posting an orange box, people bought into an idea. It wasn't even real. It was an idea in a man's head that he couldn't bring to fruition because of time restraints, money restraints, and just common sense restraints. Social media is very, very, very good for marketing if you do it the right way. TikTok shop, have you bought something off of it? Guilty. Temu, have you bought something off of it? Guilty. Why? Because they're in my email. They're popping up on Facebook. It's popping up on TikTok, or somebody is showing how they got this new projector lamp 90% off, and if you invite a friend, it's just certain companies have mastered the logic of psychology behind impulsive buying, and they use social media to get us. Now, sometimes the buys are good, sometimes that stuff that we buy is no good, but it's companies' job to make money, and you can't fault them for using every method available. And social media has helped them more than any other. Due diligence. You have to be thorough. You have to be honest in event management. If he was honest about the venue change, if he was honest about the tents, if he was honest about a lot of the things and kind of changed the theme to a survival, one man for himself, Hunger Games style festival, then I don't think it would have been deemed a failure, because that's what it was. You have to be accountable and you have some integrity in your business ventures. Guys, this was a great topic. It got me more riled up than some of the others because I remember it happening, and I remember seeing everyone's stories and just being like, you have got to be kidding me. But I hope everyone's having a great day. Almost close to 4,000 people have looked at some of my videos, maybe a short or an actual video, in the last 28 days. So I thank each and every one of you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Any comment from anyone makes my day, guys. We're going to keep pushing forward. We are on the road to monetization. Thank you guys so much. It's been Lindsay Unfiltered. And look out for that G video coming soon. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your